It would mean that it would be an IOU to the consumer from the state.
Funds set up to protect Arizona consumers could be handing out some IOUs because state lawmakers took their money. They did it to deal with a serious budget shortfall, but it could mean delays getting reimbursed if you have trouble with contractors, realtors, and more. Tonight, ABC 15 investigator Joe Ducey shows us how some funds are fighting back and how the money transfers may impact you.
Banking on Arizona sunshine.
I thought I'd save some money.
Seemed like a sure bet to Judy Goldberg.
I would get a 30% tax rebate.
Solar panels on her Phoenix roof, endless incentives to lower her installation bill, just a $26,000 loan.
The bank said, feel free to pay them up front, everything.
So Judy handed all of it to Arizona Solar Power of Cottonwood. The business took her money and then took off.
The doors were closed. They were gone.
What did you think?
I was shocked.
But not out of luck yet. Judy heard of a fund set up to help consumers hurt by contractors.
They take your money and do nothing, or number two, they do shoddy work.
It's a recovery fund through the state's registrar of contractors. Bill Mundell is director. Contractors pay into the fund. Qualified consumers can get up to $30,000 quickly if they have a legitimate claim.
That's great for Judy if she had the problem a few years ago. That's before these guys got involved. They're state lawmakers trying to solve a massive budget deficit and eyeing some big pots of money.
A total of $8.4 million was taken out of the fund.
Lawmakers transferred it to the general fund, leaving just $28,000, a negative monthly cash flow, and for consumers, an IOU.
I don't call it that, but you can call it that.
Judy calls it a huge setback, having to wait nearly a year for her claim to be paid.
And I almost fell off my chair. I was pretty shocked.
Mundell isn't happy either, pointing to a law setting up the fund.
It says held in trust for the purposes of the fund, to administer the fund and pay claims.
But the ABC 15 investigators found lawmakers nearly emptied other consumer protection funds too, taking $700,000 from a fund protecting you against realtor misdeeds, just $6,000 left. Taking $5 million from a fund paying you if escrow companies go belly up. The fund is closed.
Why were those funds swept?
Well, you know, when you're drowning and you're going underwater, you can't be too particular as to what life preservers you grab.
For 5 years, Representative John Kavanaugh, a Republican from Fountain Hills, has been on the House Appropriations Committee. He's now chairman and says with billions less in state revenue, taking $1.3 billion from these funds prevented other cuts. But lawmakers didn't get all they wanted. 2 insurance funds sued the state.
We took $19,000.
But you wanted to take about $29 million.
The lawsuit claims the funds have a purpose and are paid privately by insurers, so they're not public funds to transfer.
When we saw the legal arguments, we stopped.
But the same argument can be made for the other consumer recovery funds too, yet lawmakers took that cash.
Why continue to take money that was given the same way to those funds?
I don't know what the actual legal arguments were.
For $26,000, I got this blueprint.
A blueprint, and now solar panels paid for by a second loan Judy took out, thinking the recovery fund would pay off her first. She's stuck with 2 loan payments for nearly a year.
I just know that I did what I was supposed to do, and now I would like to get what I was promised.
Kavanaugh says all of the consumer fund claims will be paid. In fact, he says all of the consumer funds will be replaced, though that isn't written into law. Go to abc15.com/investigators. I've got budget numbers and extended interviews there, and you've likely got an opinion about this. Let me know. Leave a comment. I'm investigator Joe Ducey, ABC 15 News.